This moment of clarity, this moment of honesty, the world will feel my truth.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Perspective Talks Podcast. I'm your host, Zay. Follow me on Instagram at P2POfficial_, and my personal is going to be at Zay with the K. At the time we're recording, it's the week after 4th of July, Independence Day, and I feel like it's a very big topic to touch on. The whole ideology of independence. Something that I preach about on the show is how crucial and important independence is to an individual. I think one of the biggest things that I could tell you right off the bat, just keep things short, like straight to the fucking point. Independence is control over your life. When you have control over your own life, then the limit is fucking endless. Sky's the fucking limit. You are bound to nothing. When you have your independence, nothing is holding you back. Nothing is stopping you from doing whatever the fuck you want. Nothing is stopping you from achieving whatever goal you have, whatever you set your mind to. Like, nothing is stopping you. And what I can also tell you is, from my own personal experience, is that freedom comes at a cost. Freedom isn't free. And I want to give that freedom to you, though. I want to give that control back to you. What I can tell you is that freedom and control over your life gives you the power back in your hands to do whatever it is that you want to do with your fucking life. And I want to give that power back to you. I will say that from my own personal experience is that freedom, it comes at a cost. And I've learned, and this is a lesson taught throughout all of history for anybody seeking independence, whether it's a country, individual, a group, anything. Over the past few centuries, like anyone has been in the pursuit of freedom and independence, they all learn that it comes at a cost. Like I said before, freedom isn't free. Independence comes with risk. And if you want that freedom, if that control over your life is what you want and what you're looking for, you gotta be prepared for whatever it is that comes your way. There's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna hit you that you aren't ready for, that you didn't think was gonna come at you. And that's just the nature and the reality of life. Like, if that's what you're looking for, shit's gonna be thrown your way that you're not gonna predict and you can't fucking expect. And you just gotta be ready for it. I'm making it my job to help you be prepared to basically face anything that comes your way, whatever the fuck is gonna come at you when you're looking for that freedom. Like, that's what you're doing, that's what you want, and that's what you really are looking for. I want to help you get that freedom. I want to help you be prepared for whatever it is that's gonna come your way. Because I promise you, if that's the route you want to take, shit's gonna come your way. And I want to help you be ready for that. For me, I feel like anybody, if you were to look at the richest and the greatest, you look at people like Robert Kiyosaki. For those of you that don't know, he wrote the what we call the Purple Bible, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And anybody from that sphere will tell you that working for yourself grants you that freedom that you're looking for. And for me, that was through real estate. Like, to paint you a picture, right? So, what does independence look like? What does that mean? For a lot of people, it means a lot of things. To make this topic as relatable to as many people as possible, I'm going to keep things as general as I can, without getting to specifics, without getting to minute details, because it's all about being as relatable as possible. Because everybody has a different plan, everybody has different ways of negotiating and navigating through life to get to whatever goal it is you're looking for. So to keep things in general sense, we're just trying to paint that picture, like I said. $59,500. That's what the average salary in the United States is. To a lot of people, that's unfathomable. Some people make more than that. Some people make a lot less than that. It is what it is. People make things work, and if you're looking for that financial freedom and that independence, this should be at least your first milestone that you should reach. 59.5 grand a year. So in terms of, if I'm gonna break that down, what does that look like? So 59.5K, roughly you're looking at $5 grand a month. Again, to a lot of people that might be a lot, but when you break down even more, it's really not that much. It's just not. So if I would put it in terms that I know, and so that I'm not just speaking out of my ass and just throwing shit out there that is selling you a dream that is unachievable. I'm letting you know what I did to get to that number. So you're looking at 59.5K a year. A month, that's about just under $5 grand. If we were to take this $5 grand, in terms of real estate, if you have so this the realm that I'm in multifamily properties. So that's your duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, and multi-unit properties, hotels, things like that. But when you get into hotels and anything 5 units and up, or really more than 4 units, you're crossing over to the commercial sphere, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you're just starting off, how to get to that number. So for me, realistically speaking, if you're doing the numbers right and this is all going to make sense if you come from this world, but $5 grand a month, you're looking at a property that gives you about $1 grand a month each property, and that's net. That's the key word right there, net. Net just means after your profits, after taxes, whatever your expenses are. That is what you're looking for. That is what you should be looking for, at least per property. That's the metric I go by. There's other metrics I calculate to get to that number to make this a reality, and that's going to minute specifics that just aren't relatable to everybody. But in terms of real estate, you're looking at $1 grand a month. So $1,000 in profit in rent per fucking property. You're looking at 5 properties. When you're looking at 5 properties, realistically, if you were to buy a property that gives you $1 grand every year, or every month, every month you're making $1 grand profit. That's only 5 years of work if you're buying a property every year. And realistically speaking, that's not that hard to get. Like, you're buying one property every year. And believe it or not, there are programs and incentives to make that possible that are sanctioned by the government. Like, this is well within the realm of possibility. It's not that hard. And this is just to get to that number. 59.5. That's all it takes. That is 5 properties for you to work for yourself and you can quit your job. That is the number you should be looking for. If you're making this a year, you just replace your whole income off 5 properties. Obviously, this is under the assumption that you make $1 grand in profit every month. Realistically speaking, that's not that hard. And that's also assuming that you just stop buying properties. If you lasted 5 years buying a property every single year, and you keep going, in 10 years you just made double what you were making right here. In 10 years. In 5 years, you basically retired yourself. Because if you just stopped and nothing changed, you don't ever have to work ever again. You just live off rent. And if you keep doing it, and you keep growing, now we're talking about wealth. Passive income. And with passive income, you get that independence and that freedom. And that is what we're looking for. That is what we're getting to. That is what I'm trying to get to you guys so that you achieve that independence and freedom that I have. Now, for some people, they don't want that. Keep that there. Some people don't want to do real estate. That's cool. If that's not what you want to do, that's not what you're comfortable with, fine. I'm putting it in a more general term that a lot of people can understand. So we going off that same number, 59.5K. In business terms, if you were to break this down, again, 5K a month. You break that $5,000 a month. What does that look like? You break that 5K down, that's only $167 a day. Profit, obviously. We're talking about net. After expenses, after whatever the fuck you gotta pay, whatever bills and utilities and all this other shit that you gotta pay for, after all that, you're looking at $167 a day. And that is to replace that. And again, that's under the assumption that you don't grow any more than that. Which if you're in the sphere of business and independence, you're not gonna want to stop growing. You want to at least double that, at minimum. This is just a milestone, like I said. You want to surpass that. This is just that first milestone to say, hey, I don't gotta work for nobody anymore. I work for myself. No one can tell me what the fuck to do anymore. And that's the power I want to give back to you. Because that's the power I have. I can look at anybody and say, fuck you, I do whatever the fuck I want. Within reasonability. But that is what I'm trying to get to you guys. That independence and that freedom and that control back in your hands. Because this is not that hard to achieve. All it fucking takes is the hard work that's going to take for you to get here that no one else is willing to do. No one wants to do it because there is no plan. No one is pushing them to do it. No one is telling them to do it. But if you want freedom, independence, and control, that's what it takes. It takes for you to do that extra work. After work, you're going home, doing the things you need to do. And then whenever you have that free time, that open space, that white space, that's when you work on this. So that you can get that control and independence. So that you could quit your job that's giving you this and earn that yourself. And then in the short term, if you keep expanding and growing, this doubles really quickly. Because it's a snowball effect. It's an exponential effect. It compounds on itself. When you grow and put that time and effort outside of something else, that time and effort that you put into somebody else's business, you put it back into your own, this becomes really fucking quick to surpass. And the reason I harp on this so much is because control is very important, especially when you experience things in certain situations where that control is taken out of your hands and is in place in somebody else's hands. When your life is in somebody else's control, that is when you really truly understand the importance of control and independence and freedom. And that is why I'm making this video. That is why I make this a milestone and not a goal. Because this is not that hard to do. A lot of people have done it. You look at the wealthiest people, they all say the same thing. It takes hard work. It takes time. It takes sacrifices. It takes you giving up time and freedom to do the things you want, to have the life that you want. This is important because control is something I want to give back to you. Because I can tell you from my own personal experience, I know what it's like to have control taken away from you. Where your life is in somebody else's hands. And they might not even be qualified enough to even make that determination. But they have the authority to. I want to give that control back to you. I'm keeping this as short and as general as possible so that you have at least an idea of how realistic this goal is. Whether it's through a business or through real estate or whatever the fuck it is. Something that's making you money, it's not that hard to get your independence back, to get your freedom back. To be able to say, I work for myself. And what that really means, when someone says they work for themselves, and they don't work for anybody else, they're self-employed, they have their own business, what that means is they have control over their lives. Total control. Because every decision they make factors into the life they have and the life they're going to have. Because it all comes back to control. And I can't stress how important it is to have the control and freedom. Like I said, you only realize how important it is when it's taken away from you. Or when you don't have that control. When your life is at the mercy of somebody else's decision. And they might not even know everything to make the right decision for you. Because 9 out of 10 times, they're looking out for themselves. So if they make a risky decision that might benefit you but hinders them, they're going to look out for themselves. And that's okay. But that just shows how important it is for you to take that control back. And I want to give that control back to you. That is why I do this. That's the only reason why I do this. Because I care about y'all and I care about giving that power back to you. And that's a dangerous thing because people don't like it when the workers have control. And that's just the nature of the beast. And I hope that this shows you the reality of how easy it is to be independent. That's the only thing I really have for y'all. If you have any other questions, hit me up. If you want to talk more about this, how to make this a reality for you, let me know, talk to me, let me know what your ideas are, and we work through it. I can help you, point you in the right direction, because one of the things I do is I'm a facilitator. I can't grow a business for you. I can't give you the best advice because I don't know everything. I know what works for me, but what works for me might not work for you. And you might not want to do what I'm doing, and that's okay. But I at least want to help you. If this is what you're looking for, if independence is what you want, I will help you get there. I will happily help you because I want to give that to you. So if you have any questions, hit me up. And I'll try my best to help you and point you in the right directions. With that being said, this has been Perspective Talks Podcast. I'm your host, Zay. Follow me on Instagram at P2P_official_. My person is going to be at Zay with the K. Hit me up if you ever have any other questions. DM me. My shit's open. Talk to me. I'm here to help. Peace.
That wraps up this episode of PTP. Thank you all for watching and supporting the channel. Do me a favor and leave a like and comment and subscribe to the channel. This has been Perspective Talks Podcast. I'm your host, Zay, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.